I remember I'll be out with, people or friends or even at school, and I just didn't understand the English. I was so confused, and it took me a long time to adjust. Hey guys, welcome to my channel. My name is Dr. Tosin and I make videos on medicine, finance and lifestyle. Today I'm going to be sharing with you guys my journey into medical school. So before I decided to take the plunge into applying for medicine, I remember I used to love watching this kind of videos, and during the time there was not a lot of people who looked like me who were becoming doctors or applying for medicine. So seeing people who were similar to me going for this kind of jobs were very inspirational, and it really gave me the plunge into applying for medicine. So I thought I would record this video for anyone out there who's interested, and I hope that I can motivate at least one person into applying for the course. So in terms of this video, I thought I'll split it into different phases, such as primary school, secondary school, college, then university, so that I just have a clearer timeline and I can explain everything that I experienced and talk about my journey. So I migrated from Nigeria to London when I was age 8. And I remember when I got to this country, it was a massive cultural change. I think we got here like around July or August, and looking back, even though it wasn't that cold at the time, I remember that I was freezing. My body was just shaking the whole hour. It was just so cold. And I just came from a country which was like really hot, to go into somewhere where it was very cold, dark and sometimes gloomy was a massive cultural change for me. As well as this, I remember that the English that we were speaking in Nigeria was not the same English that we were speaking here. So don't get me wrong, Nigerian people speak proper English. We speak good English, however the accent here was different. I remember I'll be out with people or friends or even at school, and I just didn't understand the English. I was so confused, and it took me a long time to adjust and get used to the accent and also the language. As well as this, I also found the food shocking. If you know me, I love my Nigerian food. I love a good pound of jam, a wedu or with egusi, but when I got here and I went to primary school, they were serving me bangers and mash. Can you imagine? Bangers and mash. I was like, what is this? What are you serving me? So it actually took me a long time to get used to the language, the culture, the weather. And I think primary school was just a time where I used in order to settle into this country. So fast forward, after primary school, I went to secondary school, and I grew up in southeast London, closer to Brixton and Peckham, and I went to a secondary school that was not the best secondary school. Looking back now, I think the secondary school's actually changed 2 or 3 times since I was there. But anyways, yeah, the school was not great. Don't get me wrong, we had some amazing teachers, but at the same time there was a lot of times where we had supply teachers, and because of the area I grew up in, there was a lot of gang crime, and there was a lot of things that was happening in the school, and things that I experienced and other students experienced that they shouldn't have been experiencing during that time. I remember people were bringing certain instruments into the school. There was a lot of fights as well, and that just being in that kind of environment wasn't a very healthy environment to be in terms of learning. So yeah, that was quite difficult. And because I grew up in an African household, and having good grades were very important, and if you're from an ethnic background, you know that your parents want you to be either a doctor, a lawyer or an accountant. So yeah, my parents were very keen on me getting good grades, and I knew that if I wanted to do well in the future, I also had to get good grades as well. So after school, instead of going to the chicken and chip shop or just wasting time after school, I would go home immediately and make sure that I hit my books and try and learn as much as I can. Also at the time, my parents got me a tutor, and looking back now, even though it wasn't that expensive, it was quite pricey to have a tutor who came in at least once or twice a week to go through some topics with me. So that really helped me in terms of getting good grades, and I was able to achieve one of the best grades in my secondary school. So moving on from that, I then went on to college. Because I was good at the sciences, I chose biology, chemistry, maths, and because I also wanted something a little bit different, I also did art. So I think at the time, because I was so good with the sciences and I loved learning about the human body, and as cliche as it sounds, I really do enjoy helping people, I thought that one of the best careers to apply for would be medicine. But I honestly didn't think I would get into medicine, and I actually wrote 2 personal statements. I wrote a personal statement for biomedical sciences and also for medicine. And after a while, just because I left everything quite last minute, I did work experience last minute, I wrote my personal statement last minute, and I also did my UK CAT last minute. I didn't think I was going to get into medical school, so I decided that I wouldn't apply. But luckily, one of the career advisors came to speak to me, I think a couple of days before the application was due to go in, and basically gave me the drive and the motivation to put in my application. And so because I still didn't think I was going to get in, I decided to apply for one medical school. And I remember at the time when I got the interview for medicine, I was like, whoa, like I was so shocked. I honestly didn't think I would get an interview. So I practiced a lot. I went to some courses, and I tried to take in as much as I could in order to do well in my interview. But I remember coming out on the interview, I was crying a lot because I didn't think I did as well as I could have. There was, do you know when you practice for interviews, there's certain things that you've rehearsed or things that you want to say, and I feel like I didn't get the opportunity to shine as much as I wanted to. But luckily, they thought that I did well, and I got into medicine. So I applied for King's College London extended degree program, which is called EMDP. The reason why I applied for that instead of the conventional 5-year course was because I thought it would be a bit easier to get into that instead of applying for the conventional course. It was a course that a few universities were doing at the time, or still doing, so King's College London and Southampton, and I think there was a few other universities. And it's basically a degree which was designed to help people who are from lower socio-economic backgrounds, or people who lived in areas that people weren't applying for medicine or weren't going into medicine. So I thought I would apply for that course, and I managed to get in. So I'm so glad that I actually applied and I got into medical school. Fast forward how many years later, I'm currently a doctor working as a GP trainee in London, and I love my job so much, and I wouldn't change it for anything. I mean, it can be challenging and can be quite stressful, but also it's very, very rewarding. So yeah, thank you so much for watching the video. If you managed to stay this long in this video, I really appreciate it. If you've liked the video, please make sure you give a thumbs up. If there's anything you want me to do, such as talking about the logistics of how I got into medical school in terms of UK CAT, personal statement, work experience, put it in the comment box down below, and I'm happy to make that video for you. And yeah, if you have not already subscribed, I don't know what you're doing. Please, before you click out of this video, make sure you subscribe. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.